So again, I am Ms. Joyce Zerda. I am a tech integrator. I teach art and music. I'm the coordinator of the arts in our school. And today I am so excited because I get to do something really fun. And that is to talk about one of my favorite apps of all. If you're all ready, you can come on the chat and just give me a thumbs up because we're about to start with our official GarageBand session. Here I go. Okay. What is GarageBand? GarageBand, according to Apple, and I grabbed this from apple.com, it is a fully equipped music creation studio right inside your Mac. If you have an iPhone or you have an iPad, it's something inside your pocket or inside your bag, wherever you keep your iPad. It is complete with a amazing sound library that includes instruments, presets for guitar and voice, and it has an incredible selection of session drummers, percussionists, and other instruments as well. Now, the thing about GarageBand over the years, using GarageBand, sometimes can be overwhelming, especially if you start with it. And then if you go on YouTube and you search GarageBand, you'll see how a lot of other users get to maximize what GarageBand can offer. So in the beginning, when someone told me that I could, have a band or create my own band with GarageBand, it didn't really click. It more or less felt as if it would be strange, or the sound would be too codey, or it would sound very fake. However, after playing around more and more, I appreciate so much how the sound is so authentic, and I can vouch for it. It's not so processed. It sounds almost as if it's the real instrument. And last year at the ADE Institute, I found out that the reason of it having such an amazing precision of sound is because every instrument that is available for you to manipulate on the application is recorded by a real musician. So imagine a recording studio of just, let's say, a cellist sitting down and taking hours and hours of recordings of the long string C and the pizzicato C and the staccato C. So they would spend hours and hours doing different types of notes, styles, just to be able to put it into GarageBand for you to get that really, really awesome sound. So isn't that cool? I find it so cool. However, the sad truth is a lot of people think GarageBand is not very useful. So when they need to, make room on their phone or on their iPads, they delete GarageBand. And I know that probably there are some people there are like, hey, that's me. I deleted it and now I'm downloading it. However, I also feel it is so underutilized as a tool because today a lot of people use it more or less as a podcasting tool. By this, I'm not saying that it can't be a podcasting tool. It absolutely can be a podcasting tool. As a podcasting tool, it is so easy for you to create your own sounds with the music and the loops that are available. And to prove it to you, I started a family podcast. So I'm going to give you a taste of my quick podcast intro that I whipped around in 15 minutes, just picking and choosing from the loop library. Here I go.
Podcast for the 5th of July.
All about everything and anything on God's green earth.
So it's a Sunday here in Cebu City.
So that podcast was made on an iPad and there was no fancy microphone. It's just a simple old wired Apple earpod, okay? And I prefer using wired when recording audio because it picks up a lot better compared to AirPods. Going back to the description of GarageBand, there is something in this description that stood out to me big time. And these are the 4 verbs: learn, play, record, and create. So learn, play, record, create. And if you can just say that out loud wherever you are, learn, play, record, create. These four very, very powerful verbs brought GarageBand to life for me. And I want to be able to show you and prove it. Okay, I can't just say it without having to prove it. So I'm here to prove that you can learn, you can play, record, and create with GarageBand. If you have, if you're on a laptop or a computer and you have an iPhone or you have an iPad on the side, please, please go ahead and turn on your GarageBand, because later on I will take you through the steps around how to start your first cover. But now you can go and dabble if you would like, but keep your eyes glued to the screen for just a few more minutes so that you can see all the possibilities that GarageBand can offer. Let's start with learn. Okay, learn. You can practice note reading. You could also do ear training. And these are very important factors of growing your musicality or your musicality growth, because when you learn how to read notes, every musician knows that at least the basic notes, they're very important, most especially ear training. But if you are more of the chord player, you can also do chord studies and progression studies. So if you were like me, I started off with all the major and minor chords only. I didn't know there was a thing called a seventh. I didn't know there was a major diminished seventh or an augmented fifth. Okay, all of these things, they were all foreign to me. But here on GarageBand, you can change the color of your chords and you can make it fun. You can make it jazzy. You can make it you know, atonal if that's your fancy. Hopefully not, because that's really weird. But you could play around with any chord. So here is an example of an integration of the scales and chord progression. Okay, so here, as you noticed, we were able to go through all of these, what do you call this? The elements of music. So if you are a teacher and you would like to ask your students to spruce up a C major scale, they get to practice tempo. You get to practice tempo by seeing if you're able to play in timing. Turn on the metronome and play in tempo. You can also identify the rhythm of your own rhythm. Rhythm is one of the trickiest things to learn because a lot of people think they got the rhythm down. But if you would start to catch, you know, those challenging rhythms, it is very hard. So I would never ever play the drums because I have terrible rhythm. But it's a good way to practice rhythm. So you can hear the accuracy of your rhythm when you record it on GarageBand. Also, you can hear the melody. You can say, okay, we have the scale, and the scale, even if it's something like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, all of these things, it could just be a simple song. You could, I am playing on GarageBand, da, 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 whatever. It's up to you. You can change it to notes, change it into lyrics, and then create your own song. The timbre of the song, so you get to hear what works. If you were to ask me why all of those other tracks came in, I actually don't know. It's how, because music is like art. You go sometimes by the way you feel. Oh, it feels like it sounds nice. And so when I explain timbre, I always say it's more or less how the sound of each instrument fits together with the others. And so you have to know, oh, this is very bassy. I need something that would make it a little, that wouldn't take away its depth and add some height. And then again, scales and chord progression and mixing. And what did we cover? We covered music theory integration, and you also got to develop musicality. So simple integrations like this Really, really awesome. And it was really fun to do as well. That's for learn. Now let's go to play. And the more we move to the right side of the verbs, it gets funner and funner, if I could say. For play, let's start with the library of instruments. So you have here the piano, which could be a keyboard. Then you have the drums. If you've never seen this before, you could actually play it like a real drum. Then you could plug in if you have the iRigs or you have different contraptions. You can connect your instrument to your iPad or your iPhone or your desktop. Then you have the bass. As you can tell, if you're a bass player, it's as if you're playing on the bass. Same with the guitar, and also with strings. So hopefully we got to pass by strings. If not, right now you're seeing the world instrument. So I have never held any of these instruments live. I think I have some in music school. But this is a great showcase of what instruments they offer. And like I said earlier when I started off, all of the instruments you just saw in the library, they were the ones that the musicians came in studio to record. So you can play it however you want right from your device. And then we have live loops. So if you're not a musician, okay, a lot of my friends say, I'm not a musician, I don't know anything. GarageBand can still be for you if you like to dabble, like you're a music connoisseur. You can hop over to live loops, and okay, let me run the video for you so you can see. And it's going to be on the left side of the top of the screen. And what it is, it's actually different genres of music. You have hip hop, EDM, dubstep, chill. So if there's something that stands out to you, tap on it. And what you can do is just tap and choose. You can tap on each square and see which one fits all together with the other. So you have to tap on one square on each horizontal line. Or if you're little unsure, you can tap on the numbers on the bottom of the screen and then play the whole vertical line, which was already set for you to sound amazing. And here is an example of they just rolled out Vice and Verse, which is the version of lo-fi chill music. So if you're into that, here is a mix I made for a video that I posted earlier this year. Are a big fan of Will Smith. He has hours and hours of lo-fi music on YouTube. And to let you know, none of that was played. I didn't have to hop over to a keyboard or hop over to the guitar because these are all presets. Just tap and choose. And then click on the record button. There you have it. Your own live loop sample. Moving to the next, we go now to record. Yes. Okay. There's a dog barking at the back. Okay. Now, here is a cover of a song. How many of you know Billie Eilish? A student of mine says, "You're sort of cool, Teach, if you know who Billie Eilish is." I don't know if that's true. Not a lot of people know this. I don't know if the teachers in the room know this, but you are officially the cool teacher if you know this song. Not that I'm cool. I only had to learn this because I was forced to by a student of mine. I'm going to play just a part of the intro, and then I like to see and stretch GarageBand to its limits. So I try to copy the song and see if I can achieve it on GarageBand. So
Thought I'd find a way. Thought I'd find a way, yeah. But you never go away. So I guess I gotta stay now. I hope someday I'll make it out of here, even if it takes all night or 100 years. Need a place to hide, but I can't find one. You wanna feel alive outside. I can't fight my fears. Isn't it lovely? All alone, heart made of glass, my mind of stone. Tear me to pieces, skin and bone. Hello, welcome home.
That was all again recorded with the very trusty wired earpod. I would like to challenge you to find a song that you love so much. Hop over to GarageBand and see how you can follow it. There are a lot of musicians that teach you how to do it. If you are more into the a cappella and you like, you're the perfect pitch person, you could also try out working with blendings. And this is really fun. But apart from it being fun, it's also great practice for you to hear if you are blending correctly. So a lot of singers, they're great solo singers, but they don't really blend very well. And I find it a very important skill to have the ear training to blend well. So I was so in love with the Pentatonix version of this cover. So we're going to try to listen to it.
Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you?
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry. Sorry, my very, very flaky internet. It's been doing that all week. I really apologize. I'm gonna move forward now. So we just completed listening to that section. Now we're moving on. I think this is the fourth section. Yes, we're moving on to the fourth section, which is create. We can create song covers. Can you still hear my audio?
Yes, Miss.
Yeah, it's very clear.
Yes. Okay, very good. Okay, so here is a song cover. If you are a big Beatles fan, you would love this. You will hear Stranger Things. You can hear a hint of it there.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you're only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you're only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly. Blackbird fly into the night with a dark black night.
You can recreate music and put your own flavor to it. So this utilized the piano and a lot of loops. So the only thing that was played here literally was, well, not literally because I wasn't on a real piano, but on the app was just the piano line and then the audio. Everything else were just loops that I brought in and mixing and matching. And that's the fun thing about music. unlike an artist that mixes colors, you get to mix sound. I think it's really, really interesting, especially if you like listening to really, really cool things. Next up, we have another cover, but for all of the string players out there, I know you have a string program, and it's really, really hard to capture strings. It's really, really hard to capture the authenticity of the sound of a violin or a cello or a double bass. But here, they created a string ensemble series. So if you go back to the sound library, you can go and try to check out what the string ensemble can do for you. Here is a very, very old classic Radiohead song called Creep, and many of you might know this. And it was created mostly with strings, and I wanted to play around with the variations of strings, of the string sound, just to see how we could stretch it. So I'm going to be skipping in some parts.
When you were here before, couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? No, I don't belong here. She's running out again. No, she's running. She runs, runs, runs. Oh. She's running again. Ooh. She runs. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here?
Okay, I'm so sorry you had to live through the whole thing, but I wanted to show you how even the strokes of the violin, you can hear it. And I play the cello. Well, I'm not a cellist because I don't think I deserve the title, but I know how difficult it is to be able to create the sound. And GarageBand gets to really make you feel like you are really listening to real instruments, and not just code. Okay, another one for you. There's a lot of music for you to hear today. I hope you don't get bored. Is how do we integrate the native instruments? So I wanted again to see, okay, I wonder what this song would sound like if I would add a koto to it. So this is Corinne Bailey Ray's Like a Star, but I want you to hear how accurate the koto is. And if you don't know what the koto is, you can go ahead and Google it so you can see it. You can just try to see how they play it. It's really very interesting, the instrument.
You've got this look I can't describe. You make me feel I'm alive when everything else is so faint. Without a doubt, you're on my side. Heaven has been way too long. Can't find the words to write this song. Oh, your love.
Okay, so as you can see, you know, even the vibratos and the tremolos of the koto, it sounds almost as if there's really somebody doing it, right? And here's the thing: you can even change how strong vibrato you want, or the tremolo. Okay, next is a collaboration. So I want you to meet one of my students. His name is Riley. When we were in school, I gathered some of my very musically inclined students, and I said, "Hey, what song do you want to do?" Is there something in your mind that you think you would like to hear in a as a song cover in GarageBand? And he said, yeah, let's work on Juice by Lizzo. Okay. So I came in and did the vocals for them, but he put in the bass. And so this video will showcase how he did it. Okay, so here is Riley.
Ain't my fault that I'm out here getting loose. Gotta blame it on the goose. Gotta blame it on my juice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Blame it on my juice. Oh, nice, Riley.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Okay, so that's Lizzo and Juice. So we try to very much come as close to the sound. And I always tell my students, in music school, we play a lot of Beethoven and Chopin and Mozart and Debussy. And we're also essentially doing covers of their music, although we're reading the notes. Here in this modern day, it would be better for us also if you would like to practice. I'm not saying copy music, don't copy music, but practice by learning to recreate the music. So I always tell singers, you need to find your voice. You need to find what makes you, and your sound should sound more or less like you. And so that was a nice thing. Now we're hopping over to, and not making covers, but creating original music. With the help of live loops, you can create your own song. So this was something I made that was in tribute to the Apollo 50th anniversary last year, using all assets from GarageBand, including the authentic audio from NASA.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
There is a planetarium package in the sound library, and that's where you'll find all of the NASA sounds. The next one is a really fun one. So this is another instrumental, and if you can see the flags on the screen, this was a 1564 collaboration challenge. So I put out a tweet, that's the tweet on the screen, and in a span of a week, this was completed in less than a week, about 4 days, if I'm not mistaken. We just had to fine tune for the next 2 extra days. So in a whole week, the collaboration was done. It's really short, but I think it proved that you can have a band that's not in-house.